So did you see there aren't going to be any fans of the Tokyo Olympics?
Oh yeah, I did. I guess the government banned fans from attending all events.
Is that why the Miami Marlins and the Tampa Bay Rays don't have any fans in their stands?
Oh God, that was the other podcast. Sorry.
Hi, toddlers. Welcome to Talking to Todd. It's a weekly podcast with Dwayne Johnson and Todd Friends, where failure is always an option. Thanks for joining us. Hey, Todd.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
Just living the dream. Living the dream.
It was a high of 77 here today.
Oh, yeah. The highest I saw today was 111. We didn't get down to 70. We haven't been down to 77 in the last few days.
Like, was there any point in your day that saw 77?
Nope. No, I think our low was 81. So, and it's gonna get warmer actually. So, hey, no, hey, good news. According to my weather app, you said 77, right?
Yeah,
we should
overnight low of 57.
Okay, so we should hit 77 as a low on Friday, a week from tomorrow. So, looking forward to that.
It's camping weather.
It's jacket weather at that point. Could go get the camper out, set the campfire up, get the blankets out.
Don't start the campfire. You just.
I made a drive over to Las Vegas this week for reasons, and parked outside. And at the end of the day, came out and got in the truck. And the truck has the onboard thermometer. Obviously, it was off because it was in the sun. Because it eventually cooled down. When I got in the truck and started it up, the truck said it was 125 degrees outside.
My Lord.
After I drove for 20 minutes in stop and go traffic, it got down to the actual temperature of 115. So it did cool down to the actual outside air temperature of 115. So yeah, I got one of those reflective things for the front window of the truck because you don't want the sun shining. You know, when it's 115 out, you don't want the sun shining in because it'll warm the interior of the car right up. When did this become a weather podcast? No, it's weather and lizards. I don't understand. Anyway, all right. Do we have any feedback follow up from last week?
I am supposed to tell you from Amy. She's going to kill you for introducing her to Clarkson's farm.
Okay. I mean, sure. I want to be clear on why.
This guy is the stupidest farmer who ever lived.
Oh, yeah.
We've watched Tractoring, episode 1, together. Oh, sweet Lord. And then we started watching the one about the sheep, which was episode 2. And I made it about, I don't know, a third of the way in and then had to come over here to record. She kept watching. I came over to do prep. And she's laughing, giggling, screaming at the TV over how stupid this guy is. You tell Todd. You're watching it, aren't you? Yes, but yeah, okay.
So I'm not to spoil anything, because we're through episode 4 now. He gets even more stupid, so it gets even better. Like
oh, fantastic.
Yeah, this is where you started. Oh, it gets so much better. So, yes. Or worse, depending on how that works. So, you're welcome, I guess.
Nice. And that was about it there. Sarah says we need more poop content. So
I think just using the word to give Sarah's feedback violates Amy's.
Yes.
Yeah, like even talking about that violates. Yeah.
And my fishy pun was too easy. Did you just throw that in for the halibut?
What? Why are we encouraging this? Why?
I don't know. You're not going to take the bait?
You're just trawling for me to say something now at this point.
I really am. Yes.
God, you know what? I just fell for that hook, line, and sinker. And so I just...
Oh, so yeah. So that's
this
what we got.
This podcast is starting to flounder.
That's all the feedback on my end. Did you have anything?
Yeah, less sports, but that's sort of an evergreen one. So
sure.
Yeah, that's... Yeah, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Yeah.
Wait, hey,
actually,
is she pleased with this week?
Well,
probably not.
Well, I'll tell you what. Yeah, what? So we were listening in the car last week, and the cold open's about Bobby Bonilla Day. We make the joke, and then we move on, and then I get this feedback, literally real time feedback. What? You're not even going to explain what Bobby Bonilla Day is? And I said, wait, it's our main topic. And she's like, you made the main topic out of that? No. So the feedback was more Bobby Bonilla. Oh, don't worry, you're going to get more Bobby. Not that much more. So, like, anyway.
Cold open was Bobby Bonilla adjacent. So,
yeah. Yep.
Anything we needed to clean up?
Just some follow up from some previous stories. We had a couple of weeks ago, couple months ago, we talked about how with the new iOS update, you could opt out of tracking.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So you could opt out of tracking, and apparently, people have, because reports are now coming out that, so since that's been turned on, in just a couple of months, people are seeing that ad spending on Android, is going up by more than 25%, with a correlated drop of 25% of ad spending on ads targeted iOS devices, because they're not tracking you, so they say the ads aren't as valuable, and literally within a couple of months, more than 25% of some companies' entire mobile ad budgets have shifted. Which, if I was Apple, you want to know how good our ad? You know what? We can tell you how good it is, but do you want to know how good it is? They're literally not spending money on tracking you. Why? Because they can't. Although the article did point out that less than 33% of iOS users have opted into tracking, which a number of sites have said. So what are the other third, again, are going, sign me up, track. Anyway, sure, right? Well, the other third work for advertising agencies. Okay.
I guess this is a piece of self-feedback. I don't know if you noticed it or not, but there was, my chair tends to squeak, as well as some clicking and me snapping and whatnot during the theme. Don't do that.
Oh yeah, I picked up on that. Yeah. I was like,
yeah. I got don't do that. Don't mess with the theme. Okay. Gotcha.
The theme is sacred.
The theme, yes.
It's now the highlight. It's the highlight of the show, so don't mess with it.
So, some weeks it is.
All right, let's see. Okay, nominations for Idiot of the Week. Oh, we have got some. We have multiple nominations this week. Tell you what, I will start, and then you've got one, and then it looks like I've got another one.
Okay.
All right. The first one I'm nominating for Idiot of the Week, 250,000 people from France. Now, not just
number seems a little small, but okay, go ahead.
I was going to say, and it's not a hey, we've already taken some shots of this. Quick question, Dwayne. Do we have a lot of listeners in France?
I can tell you, we have, in the history of the podcast, we have 7 downloads from the UK. We have 5 downloads from Canada. We have 1 download from Belgium, which France adjacent. No, 1 from Sweden.
Okay.
Apparently they were listening to last week's podcast. And 2,304 from the United States. Okay.
All right. Good news. So we're not going to be alienating a lot of users with this. So, okay. No. So this, there's a big soccer tournament going on in Europe, Euro 2020. And there was a match between France and Switzerland. And it went to penalty kicks because if you can't decide it in regular time, you might as well just find the worst possible way to settle it. So you just go to penalty kicks. Switzerland won 5-4 on penalty kicks, and they advanced. And France, who won the last World Cup, were eliminated now from the Euro Championship. That prompted a online petition, which is legally binding worldwide, right? I mean, that's... So here's the petition that came up. During the penalty shootout for the France-Switzerland match, goalkeeper Somner was not at his line during Mbappe's shot. We request the cancellation of the qualification of Switzerland and therefore replay the match. Sport must be played within the rules, and that evening, the rules were not respected. Now, anybody can do an online petition, right? Basically, what they're saying is, hey, when the star of France had his shot blocked, the goalkeeper has to have his foot on the goal line or behind it. He can't be ahead of it. When he took the shot, they're saying he wasn't there. He wasn't in the right spot. So that shouldn't count. So cancel the whole match and replay it. We're not sore losers. We just want the rules followed. Now, it turns out actually 250,000 was low. More than 270,000 people signed that online petition, which again, legally binding in all courts of the world, and prompted media attention, including media outlets, to go to UEFA to ask them to issue a formal response. What are you going to do about this? I mean, 270,000 people signed a legally binding online agreement, petition. Are you going to replay this thing or not? Yeah.
It's not nothing. Right.
Yep. Yeah, right. The only problem with this entire plan that anybody can see is if you watch the replay of Mbappe taking his shot, his back foot was actually on the line from all angles. There exists no video from the match showing what the petition says happens and demands a replay. But 270,000 people said, nah, you know what? I'll sign that.
Other podcast.
Yeah, so much stuff for the other podcast. So much stuff for the other podcast.
So many other podcast comments about
I'm watching your face.
Denying reality.
Like, yep. I'm watching your face going, can't use that, can't use that, can't use that.
Can't use that one. Nope. Can't use. Nope. So, there's an Arizona joke in there. Nope. Can't use that one. No.
So anyway, there you go. 270,000 people in France wanting a game replayed because the rules were clearly violated, even though video actually shows that the rules were not violated. So there's nomination number 1. How about you? What's your nomination?
Dateline Clive Iowa Fireworks Company storage container burns. Clive, Iowa. 12:40 a.m. on July 6th. Just want to establish that this is after July 4th. The leftover fireworks that had not been sold went up in flames in a storage container.
So
does any of this seem suspicious?
I was going to say, did it go up in flames, or was somebody just taking care of an inventory problem?
There were no injuries. Officials estimated about $10,000 in damage. The cause of the fire is still under investigation.
I'm going to guess it was a match.
The fire department described the situation as an extremely hazardous situation. You think? There was no way inside the container with all of this going on. So they were able to put out the fire through air ventilation holes. There's pictures. It's a mess. But somebody took care of their excess inventory would be my guess.
I mean, it does make you think that, instead of doing that, like if you're a fireworks company, maybe you should, right? If you just had a July 5th, everything must go celebration, and by everything must go, we mean it must go. Like, so
this was under the crime and courts section of the Des Moines Register. I thought that was pretty accurate.
On the other hand, it was probably one of the most interesting things that's happened in Clive in quite a while. So I did live. So, we've talked about for years, I lived in Salt Lake City, and in Utah, you have the 4th of July, and then you have the state holiday on July 24th, right? So unlike Iowa, we grew up, you don't take time off in Iowa, but it turns out other states out west, out east have state holidays to recognize. So, Massachusetts has Patriots Day, etc.
Yep. Illinois has Casimir Pulaski Day for some unknown reason. Go ahead. Don't ask me why I know that.
So wait, how long did that governor serve for? No, that's in jail for embezzle. No, that's a different. No, not that. Anyway, never mind. There's been a lot.
Three of the last 4 governors have served time. Yes.
So because those both happen in July, in the state of Utah, what tends to happen is the fireworks places open up, and by the way, you can buy almost everything here in the great state of Utah, and what you can't get, you just go to Wyoming, which is where the U.S. Army buys some of their stuff from, just roadside stands in Wyoming. When you need the good stuff, you go to Wyoming. But so the stands open up and they stock them full of fireworks, and then July 4th comes, and then all they do is they take the tent flaps down, and they put the tent flaps down for 2 weeks, and then they open the tent flaps back up and say fireworks for sale again. Yep, because you can also set fireworks off on July 24th as well. So all of July is really fireworks month in the state of Utah.
We get like 8 days here over the 4th of July. And then we get another window over Christmas and New Year's. But at least in late December, the ground is generally frozen and nothing is going to catch on fire.
That's good.
Yeah. Can't I be careful during dry conditions, fire officials say.
That's just what we need as another segment in Talking to Todd. Fireworks. Now you know. Just every week you just report on fireworks stuff from around the
None of this is staying in.
Yeah.
There's like 10 minutes of fireworks that's going away. What's our third nomination?
All right. So before I get to this, I need to ask you, this is Quiz Dwayne time, because this plays into the story. All right.
Okay.
In order for something to be called to be literally, in theory, called champagne, where must that wine come from?
The Champagne region of France. That's the generally held consensus of how that works. Yes?
Well, you were right up until a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, well, so can I play the bell?
Well, no, because as of now, well, see, if I asked you a couple of weeks ago, you'd be right. But now you're wrong. And this is what we get to the idiot of the week. So, according to a new law passed in Russia, only sparkling wine can only be called champagne if it comes from Russia. Well known for its decades and decades of champagne production. This has actually halted deliveries of champagne from outside of Russia into Russia because it can't be sold, because only sparkling wine from within Russia can be called champagne. So, and by the way, in Russia, it has been used as a generic term for a wide range of sparkling wines, selling for as little as $2 a bottle. So, anyway,
This sounds like 15 different kinds of fish can be called tuna. Or is it just me?
but only Russian fishes.
Apparently.
Yeah. So anyway, I was going to add. So I was just going to add
about moose and squirrel.
Yeah. Anyway, so there you go. Idiot of the week now apparently is Russia, because they have now taken the word champagne and said that it is champagne is now only Russian. That stuff you get from France is just sparkling wine. There you go. Which does make me think, I mean, boy, if that's as easy as to lay claims to stuff, maybe we got some ideas.
Business opportunity. Stay tuned. Speaking of business opportunities, what's this on the rundown?
Okay. So we talked 2 weeks ago about a business opportunity around the NFL. And
the combine?
Yes. And while I'm still all in on that, and I think we should make this happen.
I think it's a hell of an idea.
Yeah. I wanted to run another idea past you.
That idea is all wheat and no chaff.
Have you been to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio?
I have not.
Okay. All right. Neither have I. But I'm thinking that place has to draw in people, right? I mean, it's the Pro Football Hall of Fame, right? And you're in Ohio. You're in Canton. So I'm thinking what we need to do is we should come up. I came up with a business opportunity that would make sense to take advantage of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So here's what I want to do. I want to build a water park next to the Hall of Fame. Make it NFL themed.
Okay.
Yeah. The downside is we're going to need to raise about $300 million to build this. It's going to be like an indoor water park because it's Ohio, so it's year round. So I need $300 million to build an indoor water park adjacent to the NFL Football Hall of Fame, and we'll theme it. We'll theme the whole thing. But I just need $300 million if we want to take out a small loan to build this. I'm thinking this could be the beginning of a huge development next to it, and really go off of that. I don't know. I want to run that past you first before I sign any papers.
Okay, so why is this a good idea?
Well, okay. Turns out it's not a good idea. You
Oh,
caught me.
okay.
You did catch me.
Okay, good.
Because somebody has already come up with this idea. The Pro Football Hall of Fame has already come up with this idea.
How did that go?
Well, they created a separate holding company called Hall of Fame Resort and Entertainment Company that is a public company. And they are building the Disney World of football on the lands surrounding the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And they went public last year, and they didn't raise enough money going public. So now they're looking for $200 million of private equity to finish building the indoor water park that's going to be football themed next to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And again, this is actually being run by the Hall of Fame. Roger Goodell said that this is going to be one of the biggest business opportunity. Roger Goodell's aware of it, has promoted it. So they need $300 million to build a water park. They estimate that they are going to, right now, they get about $7 million a year total revenue from the Hall of Fame. They think that once they get the water park built, they're going to get $167 million of revenue per year.
I haven't ever been to Canton, but my understanding is there's not a whole lot in Canton.
So do you know how many people visit the Hall of Fame every year?
According to Wikipedia, source of all truth and knowledge, in 2010 it was 191,943.
Yeah, it's about 200,000, but it's been falling, so it's probably about that. Yes. Somebody actually went out and calculated, in order for them to make $167 million, they would need every single person who goes to the Hall of Fame, the Pro Football Hall of Fame, to also buy a ticket to the water park, which seems a little weird. Hey, do you want to see the busts of players that played 30 or 40 years ago? And do you want to go on the water slide? Okay, that's weird. They also said that they were going to be able to attract they've also created the sports youth village, which has some practice fields and stuff. And they think they're going to get 360,000 visitors a year just through that. So that would probably get them to about $9 million a year. So the only way that they could get this, somebody has figured out, is if you take a look at 2017 and 2018, and you look at every single person that flew into the Akron Canton Airport over 2 years, if every single, which totals just about 1 million people, you would need every year, you would need twice the amount of people that fly into the Akron Airport to go to the water park.
This is a colossally bad idea.
Well, and then if this gets funded for $300 million, then I've seen the plans, the architecture drawings. They have some other ideas as well, including this one's just great. So they have the Hall of Fame Hotel, the Hall of Fame Promenade, which is restaurants and retail, the Owner's Box Sports Bar, okay, Center for Excellence, Center for Performance, I don't know what those are, and then Legends Landing, which is located right near the water park. Legends Landing, that's a long-term care assisted living facility. I don't know if they get a discount on the water park or not.
Do any of these plans involve like water Zumba in the water park at night for the elderly? That way they can double dip.
Well, so since you say that, the question everybody has to have is, so why are we bringing this up on Talking to Todd?
Right? Yeah, why are we bringing this up on Talking to Todd? At this point, how long have we... Yes, why? Yeah. Please.
I keep coming up with business opportunities. and you keep shooting them down. And people are having a good time and laughing about all of my business opportunities and my business ideas, right? And they're like, that's just incredible. Like you're gonna run the NFL Combine with cows? Come on, right? Does that make any sense? I just laid out a public company that this is their business plan and has been their business plan for 5 or 6 years. This is literally do you want to guess what the Hall of Fame resort and entertainment company's market cap is as of today? How much that company is worth? Who's promoting this?
$25 million?
$338 million is their market cap.
Oh my God.
For a water slide and an assisted living facility adjacent to a football Hall of Fame. So what I'm saying is, I think the problem isn't my ideas. I think we just got to start doing this because apparently people will buy stock in almost anything.
Is there going to be an odd-shaped football coming out of the top of the hotel? Can you promise me that?
Let me look at the renderings. Okay, I kid you not. The Hall of Fame hotel looks like it's shaped like a kicking tee.
No, really?
I hope that's a kicking tee. Yeah.
The Johnson Controls Hall of Fame Village, an estimated $900 million expansion project adjacent to Pro Football Hall of Fame, has completed phase 1 of constructions.
Yes. Oh, yes. And Johnson Controls, they paid $100 million for the naming rights for this.
They only needed 300. Where did the rest of the money go? So how much is it going to cost to build a water park? I mean, really, they got $300 million. How much of what are we really talking about here? What should they have spent?
I don't know. We can figure this out. You got a garden hose in your backyard?
Sure.
Yeah. Right.
We've got Lake Weathersfield. We're good. What's it really going to run me?
Well, according to the Wikipedia source of all truth and knowledge, I mean, an indoor water park could cost you, I don't know, $50-60 million. So I don't know what they're doing with their $300 million.
Marketing, man.
Well, I was going to say, okay, so we were going to do this though. Okay, so you can't just say it's a water park and then it's an NFL experience water park, and then just have regular. Like you have to put football into it, right? So let's figure this out because we should be able to bring something to this. So like, what could we do? What can we do with the rides that would be like? It's not a regular water park ride with football slapped onto it. We should make this so that you can experience the NFL.
Okay, well, we know there's going to be slides.
Yep. You got to have water slides.
Quarterback slides, right?
I see. Yep. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Tracking. Okay. So, like, you're at the top of the slide.
Yep.
And you're running because that's what you need in a water. We're gonna need so much insurance. So you're running, and then right before you hit the edge of the slide, like a thing flips down of like a linebacker, and so that you don't get hit, you then have to slide under the linebacker, which then takes you down the slide. There you go.
Okay. Or if you go head first, can you still get hit? What are the rules here? Did the rules change?
If you put on the yellow vest, they can't touch you.
They can't touch you? Okay. I also think that there would be an adjacent version of this where it's like, I'm thinking like it's the Nick Foles line where there's no running. It's the Jay Cutler of water slides where there's no running involved. We're not going to run. Nope. You can't make me run. I'm not running.
Okay. So what else? Let's see. What else do water parks? Oh, water parks have water cannons, right? Like kids, like you get to.
Those are fun. Yes.
Right. Okay. All right. So hear me out. Here's the thought. You and a partner are standing there, and the cannon has pictures of football players on it. So you start off with like Deion Sanders, and then you've got like Drew Brees, and then like it keeps working its way through all the way up to like Khalil Mack or Aaron Donald, or well, if you could get license from the if you could get the license like a Lawrence, like the bottom button would be like Lawrence Taylor, right? And what that would
This
do
would be
is
the biggest guy at the
well,
bottom.
yeah, because what it would do is you hit the button of what you want the cannon's going to shoot water out, and whoever you're aiming at, it's going to it's what they would feel like if they were tackled by that player with a burst out of the
Sweet
water
Lord.
cannon, right? So the reason why Deion Sanders is first is because if you push that, you're the person you're aiming at, they won't be hit at all. Like you won't even get a drop of water. It's just a whiff. Like there's nothing there.
And the far opposite end is pancake time. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah. Yep. I mean, it's funny if you get to pick it, and then you're whoever your partner, whoever you're shooting at, doesn't know. But if you really want to do it, what you do is you give the person who's being hit the ability to pick who they want to be hit by, because if you sold beer, again, we're gonna need so much insurance. If you sold beer at the pro football water park, and then told a bunch of guys, sort of like tailgating, like, "Hey, you know what? This is what it would be This is what it would be like to be hit by Lawrence." Yeah, come on, hit me with it. And then they get hit by a burst of water and go flying over the slides and get dumped in the tank of misery. And then come back and go,
misery.
One more time.
I mean, again,
yeah,
I
wasn't ready.
I would pay money to get hit in the chest with a water cannon at the level of Brian Urlacher. I would buy that ticket.
Yeah, we're gonna need that because it's gonna be about $55. So you're gonna want to do that cash up front. Got to pay to get in. Yeah,
Brian Urlacher would be $54.
I just about said 54, and then thought, where did that number come from? Oh, you said Urlacher. I thought 54. I rounded up to 55.
That's Lance Briggs. You pay 55, you can get hit by Lance Briggs. Also hurts.
I'm also thinking the longest, like the water slide, the tube slide, the longest one that we would have, and I don't know exactly how this would work. I'm going to describe this for you, and then you tell me what NFL experience. You tell me what NFL experience you think that this is encapsulating. So, so you start on the slide, and then it abruptly ends. Then you have to get out, and then you have to walk. You have to walk to the other end of the park, and then you get back in the slide, and then it immediately goes all the way to the bottom of the park, and it basically just goes in circles. It never goes up, or like it just goes in circles at the bottom of the park for quite like longer than you would think was even possible. And then at the end, you just get out. That's the ride.
Are you describing the Broncos 2020 season?
Funny, cute. Saw that coming. No, we would.
Hey, you set it up.
Yeah. We would call that being a Cleveland fan.
Oh.
So you get on the ride and it's going along, and then it abruptly stops, and you don't have a ride for a while. And then you're really excited to get back in the ride, and it immediately goes all the way to the bottom, and then it just spins around for really longer than anybody thinks is even possible. And right at the end, it goes up a little bit, and you think the ride's getting better, and then it just ends. So yeah. Oh, and do you know? Okay, so every good park to make revenue, you take pictures of people, right? And you sell them, like, you get off of a ride, like in the middle of the ride, like on a, you get your picture taken or whatever. Do you know what that photo service is?
I do not.
That's the Patriot Spygate photo service. We just take pictures of everything that goes on in the park, and you can pay for it.
I've got a pricing structure that I think the NFL can buy into. It's open. Is it open year round, or is this just a summer park?
Well, for 300, well, the 300 million one, it better be open year round. I mean, ours could be, I don't know. We could do that ours. I mean, who wouldn't want to go to an outdoor water park in Iowa in January? That would be the draw.
I'm thinking if we built this in Iowa and it was outdoors, we'd open May 1st, right? So to keep with the NFL theme, we've got about 5 months worth of water park, but the first month you pay full price, but none of the rides are open. It's like their own little preseason. Yes, you got to come. You're required to come. You're required to pay full price. If you just walk around and look at the rides.
Well, if you want to visit the park for the rest of the year, you have to show up. Now, here's what I would do. I wouldn't say that the rides aren't running, but instead of like the full flow of water, it's just a garden hose.
Just a trickle.
It's just, yeah. So like you get in your bathing suit and you get on the top of the slide, and instead of having water, it's just that bear skin on plastic. You just all the way down.
It's
and you
painful.
Think, yeah. It's full price.
So painful.
So painful.
Oh yeah.
Full price. But and because it's been all year it's been all winter, and you're just so happy that it's back, going in, I just want to use the water park. And it's so painful. And the following year, you know what you do? You're like, it's going to be painful, but man, I love it.
Those preseason games are ones that we've taken the little kids to.
Yeah.
Because they always want to go, but they don't know the difference. They have a fantastic time. They think it's great. They don't know the difference. I'm not sure that would be the case with this water park. They would know the difference between,
Yeah, they probably would. Would.
The preseason water park and the regular water park, probably. But then again, whatever.
By the way, I know who we're going to get as our official, because you got to have a snack bar. So I know who we're going to get as our official candy supplier. Skittles. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Oh,
one last one. Here you go.
Okay.
Again, I'm going to have you think about this. What we need to figure out is the most popular ride in the entire park that draws the most people to it is objectively the most mediocre ride we have. It's not the worst. It's not the worst by any means. But it is not one of the best rides we have. And actually, you have to pay additional money. It's a premium you have to pay to go on this incredibly popular but ridiculously mediocre ride. Do you know what we're going to name that?
The Dallas Cowboys?
How about them Cowboys?
This is great. This is a hell of an idea. I think this has got legs. Seriously.
It's gold, Jerry. It's gold.
Gold.
So what are you watching this week?
We're watching things that we recommended, actually. What's the music thing?
This Is Pop, I believe.
Yes. We watched the auto-tune one. I wasn't a fan. I gave it a 2. I fell asleep. Maybe I gave it a 1. The one on Sweden was really interesting. I thought that was really good.
That one is better than it has any right to be. Doesn't right?
Right?
Like you're like, wait, what? Oh, I'm not going to watch a show. I'm not going to watch a show about how Sweden is influenced. But this is fascinating.
And the country crossover pop one was pretty darn good too. I thought that was really interesting.
And that's on Netflix, right?
That is on Netflix. So we watched. We watched this. We watched that pop thing, and as referenced at the top of the show, Clarkson's Farm. Oh, how about you?
We were watching Clarkson's Farm. And then when that finished, we decided that was enough of Jeremy for the night, because even though he's better in this, he's still probably, you should short bursts. Since we were on Amazon Prime Video anyway, we watched a documentary, Pink, What I Know So Far. And it details, it follows Pink on tour 2 years ago for 20 days on a stadium tour, through leading up to her playing Wembley. Um, the interesting thing is that when she's on tour, she has, so her husband and her two little kids, 8 and 2, I think, are with her. And so,
Oh,
yeah. So, I mean, and they had acts like the camera, like, does a huge stadium tour and then is in the hotel room. Why would you just eat this? Please just eat this. Why just eat, please. I need you to eat. I did a concert. I'm kind of a big deal. You know that, right? Like, can you please just the kids don't care. And so
nope, kids don't care.
it's very entertaining from a couple of things. Number one, if you want to see behind the scenes of what it takes to do a massive studio or massive stadium tour, you get to see them rehearsing dancing and doing sound checks, and that's very interesting to me. If you want to see what it's like for a very famous person, like literally the family is in, they're in France, Belgium, Manchester, Ireland, Stockholm. I mean, they're just bound, like every other day they're in someplace else. And that's kind of interesting. Like, oh boy, that could get a little. And then if you want to see, I mean, admittedly, they've got people to help. I understand this. But to do all of that with a 2-year-old and an 8-year-old and watching that and going, oh, oh, yeah, that does not look fun. Oh, that's terrible. Wow, changing diapers, like, wow. That's also very interesting. So there's a lot of stuff for like, you can watch it for different things, and it's pretty entertaining.
Pink, and that's on Amazon.
Yep. What I know so far. So yeah, there you go. So you can watch Clarkson's Farm and then just roll into that documentary. I'd recommend it. It's good fun. All right. So what'd you learn
Nice.
this week?
My grandfather, I've talked about my grandfather on here before, right? He's 101.
Okay. Yep.
Survived COVID in January, has been in hospice since. Went down to visit him again on Saturday. Actually got to go in and see him. The other, we tried to go visit before, they limit how many people can go in, not at a time, per day.
Okay. So they're like a total exposure kind of thing. Okay.
I guess I don't know. Anyway, so I've been able to wave at him before from the lobby so that he could see that I was there. But so we went in. Amy and Lucas and I, they've relaxed their rules just a little bit. Amy and Lucas and I and Grandma all got to go in all at the same time, and we got to spend about an hour with Grandpa. And he is at 101 and in hospice, still really, really sharp. And at one point, looks at me, looks at the top of my head, and says, "You're getting kind of thin up there." Really, Grandpa? Thanks.
This is going to sound mean, and I was going to say I don't mean it to be that, but I do based on this. How long has it been since he's seen you?
Oh, I guess to wrap this up was I learned that my grandfather at 101 still has a sense of humor and can still give me crap. So that's what I learned this week. How about you? Did you learn anything this week?
Well, sounded like you also learned why you need 25 hats. Okay.
Not news.
So you know the saying, measure twice, cut once, right?
Yes. It's great advice.
It is, right? It's great advice. What I learned this week was, while that may apply to cutting, measuring twice is not enough when drilling a hole into the side of your house. So I needed to attach something on the outside of my house, and it needs to go into studs so that it stays on the side of the house.
Smart.
Yeah. And the outside of our house is stucco. I mean, it's actually the newfangled fake stucco. Actual stucco is really thick, and this is all sort of a artificial stucco thing that's used.
Pseudo stucco. Stucco adjacent.
I loved that Phil Collins song, Pseudo Stucco. Stucco. Okay, anyway, so a stud finder won't work on the outside of this because it can't. Yeah, it's well, there it's
thinner than normal stucco, but it's too thick for a stud finder.
Well, because so basically what you've got is you've got a layer of this artificial stucco, and then you have I know we pay a lot more for it when we build it, but basically you've got chicken wire behind it, and then you've got a sheeting, and then you have the actual wood sheeting, and then you have so it can't get through all of that. But I do have on the outside, I've got an outlet and I got a gas line. Oh God. Okay, so I know that the outlet has to be attached one side or the other to a stud, and that gas line is attached one side or the other to the stud. And so I kind of figured that out. And then, you figure your studs are probably 16-inch on center. We would hope. And so you do some measuring. But so I did a bunch of measuring, and okay, I think I know where I need to drill. But then I thought, boy, you start drilling into the outside of your house that you can't easily patch. Like, you want to get this right. So then I went into the inside of my house, used the stud finder, found the studs on the inside, and there's a glass door. So I made a mark on the door and measured the inside and then to the mark so I could transfer that to the outside and then transfer that. And it all lined up exactly where I thought it should be. Awesome. Take the drill. Oh boy. Drill in.
Deep breath.
Yep. Drill in. Resistance. Funk. Uh-oh. That didn't feel like that hit a stud. Miss. I spent a week and a half measuring. I measured more than 15 different times. Clean missed it. Yep. Huh. All right. Go back and measure. All right. Huh. Okay. So if that's there, 1/4 inch to the left. Maybe I just missed it. I bet you. Yeah. I bet you know what? I bet you I just missed it.
Surely. Right? Yes.
All right. Let's do this again. All right. This time for real, people. Drill. Funk. There's no battleship there either. So I've now put 2 holes in the side of my house that are not where I need it to be. At this point, I'm getting a little concerned about my ability to measure anything. So now we're going to try this a different way. So now this is measuring yet a different way, and now getting laser levels out. Multiple laser levels to measure vertical lines, horizontal lines. Third time.
Carry the 6.
Yep, carry the 6. Do the division, whatever. Drill in. Third time. Now, by the way, did the drill? 1/4 inch to the left. Redrilled everything and remeasured everything with all the lasers and stuff, and decided to go a 3/4 inch to the right. I did not miss it by a little. I missed it by a lot.
You missed it by an entire board.
Yeah. Yep. Third time, hit the stud. Then I'm thinking, okay, I'm pretty happy now because now I've just put multiple holes, but whatever. But at the other end of this, I need to drill into 3 studs and I need up and down. So I've got to drill 6 holes.
Oh, God.
In an ideal world, I need to drill 6 holes. At my current rate, that will be 18. So I got to get better at this.
But you've got one.
You've got one.
And assuming that they're 16 inches on center.
Yes.
You should be able to extrapolate from one good shot.
Yes.
Battleship. We played enough Battleship growing up.
Yeah.
I remember you even had electronic Battleship, didn't you?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
With the noises and everything.
Which goes back into my tech world of why have something that works without batteries or electricity? You could just plug it in. But what's concerning me here is, so if I'm starting at the right and I got to go to the left, so I'm on stud 3, found it. I'm going to drill into stud 2. We'll see how that goes. But stud 1 has a gas line attached to it.
Oh, boy.
It's really, really important to not... I can miss this stud on one side and be relatively fine.
Upset.
Yeah, annoyed.
But alive.
But we don't have to call the fire department. But if I get it wrong on the other way, and at this point, having done all of this, I was not super confident in my ability to operate a tape measure.
Oh.
But I got to get this project done at some point. So measure 16 inches. Here goes nothing. Good news. Did not hit a gas line. Yeah. So
that you know of.
Yeah. Well, and the problem is each stud needed to be drilled into twice. So it was the upper and the lower. So the laser levels were getting exceptional amounts of use at that point. Okay, I'm pretty sure this one's safe. Use the laser level, make a mark. You know what? Use the other laser level just to make sure that it agrees with the first laser level. Anyway, so measure twice, cut once. My new motto, measure 25, drill 3.
Belt and suspenders. What'd you do with all the extra holes?
Well, I don't want lizards to get in there. So
true. Good. Yes.
Right.
Or termites or anything else. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So an amazing amount of waterproof caulking went into those holes, as well as the holes that I drilled before I put the screws into them. So everything has a significant amount of waterproof caulk in there. The holes themselves are now covered up by the thing that I was hanging. So as long as that thing never comes off the wall, Todd, great work. Lisa's comment was, I came back in, I'm like, and she knew because at one point I was like, I missed it again. And so then I'm finally like, I think I hit a stud. She's like, you think you hit a stud? How will we know? I'm like, well, I'm mounting about 40 pounds of weight on this. And she said, so in the middle of the night, if the 40 pounds of weight comes crashing down, we'll know. I'm like, yes, it's a self-correcting problem at that point.
Pretty much it.
Yeah, we'll know.
The music is Happy Boy by Kevin MacLeod. It's available on incompetech.com under a Creative Commons Attribution license. You can subscribe on Overcast or Apple Podcast or Spotify, Podbean, wherever you get your pods. Search Talkin' and the number 2. No G, no space. We have a page on Facebook, so tweet us on Facebook. Johnny Rose.
Why is that funny?
Never gets old. You can check out our award-winning merch on Zazzle. You can leave us a voicemail at 515, also CPA. That's 515-257-6272. You can stop by and visit us at the Tuba City home office. Please don't do that. Or check out the website at talkingtotodd.com. Thanks to our listeners. Just thanks. Send us your feedback. Feedback at talkingtotodd.com. Todd?
One bit of feedback I forgot at the top of the show. When I told the story about Lisa not being able to watch RuPaul's Drag Race on Paramount Plus because of the problems.
Yeah, the ad blocking thing.
And the ad blocking. But it took me a while to get there because I was like, I wonder what that is. And it could be this or whatever. When Lisa was listening back, she then came back to me and said, that's funny that you were having problems thinking about that. As soon as it wouldn't play, my first thought was, this has got to be Todd and his stupid router stuff.
Meanwhile, she let you stew over it for a while, so...
That piece of information would have been handy half an hour ago, but... What are you going to do?
Hey, if you've got information that you think would be helpful to us, send it along. You know the phone number. Until next week, we've been talking to Todd. You can subscribe on Overcast or Apple Podcast or Spotify, Podbean, wherever you get your pods. Just search number and the Talkin' 2. 71 episodes in, you'd think I'd get this right.